If you were an American kid growing up in the early to mid 2000s, you may have fond memories of being driven around by your mother or your friend's mother in the back of one of these cars. This is a 2005 Toyota Highlander, and it comes from the original first generation of the Highlander. The Toyota Highlander has gone on to be one of Toyota's best-selling models, and it's billed as a crossover alternative to the more rugged and off-roady 4Runner for people that just want something with all-wheel drive, something reliable, something safe that they can take their kids to school and back from and take to the grocery store. This original Highlander right here was the genesis of something big. I love these older family cars, and I love how simple they are and how they're just made for a purpose. No frills, no gimmicks, no stupid weird features. It's just a car with some airbags, with air conditioning and doors that lock. That's useful, once again, for ferrying families around. So I thought it might be nice for some of you, especially those in the audience, likely on the toilet right now, who are watching this looking for a bit of a nostalgia trip because they used to ride around in one of these things every day on their way to school and back, or soccer practice or whatever, and they want to relive the memories of old. So here is a review of a 2005 Toyota Highlander. Let's now take a review type tour of this popular but kind of boring family SUV. Around the back of the 2005 Toyota Highlander, you notice a couple things. Number one, this car is worthy of being in the Facebook group Camrys with Dented Bumpers because it sports that same exact rear bumper dent as every 2000s Toyota does now. Does anybody wonder about why that dent is so common or why it even happens in the first place? And another thing is that you notice, like the whole styling ethos of this car, it's boring and there's nothing interesting whatsoever about the rear end of this car. You have a couple badges, your usual Toyota badge, Highlander right here. It's all connected with one little line at the bottom so that they save money on creating the badge. You've got a keyhole right there for opening the trunk and locking it. And you have 4-wheel drive right there to note to everybody that this thing is ready to take the trails, and the usual dealership sticker from Calypspell Toyota Scion. I'm sure it's not Toyota Scion anymore. So let's talk a little bit on practicality. As you'd expect, just a single piece tailgate lifts up to reveal quite a large cargo area back here. And it also comes with this gloriously luxurious, high quality Toyota Highlander specific rear floor mat right here, which is nice to see. But this car also from 2004 onwards was available with a 3-row seat arrangement with 7 seats. Unfortunately, this car does not have it. But as a consolation prize, you get access to the taillights. Okay, I thought that'd be something different, never mind. But as a consolation prize, you get a couple little cargo tie downs around back here and a little cigarette style charging outlet over on the driver's side, which for a car of this age is quite interesting to see. You see that a lot more commonly these days, but back in 2005, that was probably something you would brag about at the HOA meeting. But there's not that much really to talk about here. It is a wide, big cargo area. And if you want, you can use these latches right here to fold down the rear seats. It's a 60-40 seat split, as you would expect. Again, not that much back here, but it's a big cargo area, which is what you need for your groceries and your stuff for your kids, whatever you'd be carrying back here as a family man or woman driving your kids around in the 2005 Highlander. So with that being said, let's slam the tailgate shut and get back in the car. I'm 6'3". This driver's seat is in my driving position pretty much all the way back, and I'm actually pretty impressed with how much room there is left over back here. I've got a little bit of room for my knees to move around, a tiny bit of foot room, and enough headroom. People over my height might get a little bit tight back here, but me, I'm pretty comfortable back here and totally happy. Let's see what we have in the center here. We have a little center armrest, which has some cup holders, and this lid comes out quite high, and that's it. This armrest right here also has some cloth padding on top of it, which is nice, adds to the comfort a little bit, because right here it's just plastic. Back here they put a little bit of cushioning there for your arm, which I gotta say is quite nice. Another thing that's quite nice is the fact that this is a completely flat floor back here. Not very common that you'd see something like this, especially in something that was offered with all-wheel drive. Completely flat floor, which means if you're stuck here in the center, you're still pretty comfortable because you have somewhere to put your feet. You also have a couple of seat pockets back here in both front seats, which is nice, and 2 cup holders on each door panel to add to the 2 cup holders in the center armrest. Excessive amounts of cup holders is a theme of modern vehicles that are in this segment, but back then it was quite a new thing to have this many cup holders back here. Again, 2 on this side, 2 over on that side, plus 2 in the center. That makes 6 for all you math wizards out there. 6 cup holders just for the kids sitting in the back seat, which is nice. And I gotta say, the materials back here, there's a lot of cheap feeling plastic as you'd expect from a Toyota of this era, but I do like this cloth material that lines the doors and the seats, and again, that padding on the center armrest that I talked about. And I like the pattern on it. It's quite nice, quite homely looking, and I appreciate that it's there to give the back seat a little bit more style, which is nice, and it's also up front. I just like the pattern that you see on the cloth everywhere. It's not excessive in your face, but it does bring a little bit of style to an otherwise completely styleless, gimmickless interior. Here we are up front in the 2005 Toyota Highlander. What do we have here? It's interesting. And you sit up here and it's about the same as what you have back there. There's plenty of space, but no gimmicks, no frills whatsoever. And I have to say, that's quite nice because modern cars festoon you with all these screens and technology and buttons and things that you have to learn, things that you have to get used to. But the Highlander of this era goes completely in the opposite direction. Take the climate controls up here. Very, very idiot proof. There's no way that it'll take you longer than 2 seconds to understand these controls. You have a dial on the left for your fan speed, a dial in the middle for your temperature, no numbers, you don't even have to read. You just see blue, that means cold, red means warm, that's all you need to know. And your 3 important buttons are up top above the climate controls, and they're very big, impossible to miss because they are so important. Number 1, you have your air recirculation button on the left. Very important. That's why it's such a big button. Number 2, over on the right, your rear window defroster, and in the middle, your air conditioning button. And it's nice because these controls are so simple and it's just such a breath of fresh air when you have to experience all of these new cars with these complicated infotainment systems, climate controls that are buried in a submenu. It just gets annoying having to learn each car like it's learning a new phone. You get in this car, your controls are laid out, they're simple, and it makes you wonder why modern cars bother with these complicated systems, because there was a time where it was so easy to just get in and go, and that is manifested right here with this super simple, idiot-proof climate control system, which as an idiot, I very much appreciate. This is a 4-speed automatic in this particular Highlander, and you don't even get a manual mode, you don't even get a sport mode. Your choices are P, R, N, D, 2, and low gear. That's it. There's no complicated drive mode, there's no electronic parking brake, it's just your gears, your gear selector, and a big obvious button so you know what to press. But you do have ECT Snow, which sets the traction control of this car into a special snow setting. That is the most complicated part of this car by far. Then moving back from that, you have a little ashtray, which is nice underneath this plastic cover. And you have another plastic cover here, which would have cup holders. I imagine you can put cup holders in here, and the attachment for the cup holders is missing. So my coffee cup just kind of sits there. I'm sure it did come with cup holders 20 years ago, but they've been lost since then. And behind that, you have this lid and this, once again, obvious idiot-proof button. You press it, the lid opens and reveals a huge storage area and the previous owner's toothbrush. The most complicated part of this interior is the fact that this little storage lid is in 2 pieces. It opens up like this, like double doors. It's not just a simple 1-door setup. This is probably the most complicated mechanical part in this entire vehicle, which is such a relief to see, again, owing to all of these new cars and their complicated systems, complicated everything, gimmicks everywhere you look in the interior. This car is just simple, no frills, just simple. You get in, You start it, you drive it, and you're lucky that it has air conditioning. And you're also lucky it has other comfort features like these glorious and comfortable armrests that come off of the seats in the center, which is very nice. And below this entire center console setup, you have a huge open storage area down there. Toyota was able to engineer this car in a way that you don't notice that there's drivetrain components, exhaust components that go underneath the floor, because everywhere from the front to the back is completely flat. There's also a digital clock right there, very high tech. And in the gauge cluster, you just have a simple gauge cluster. And the only screen that you get over in the gauge cluster is a screen that shows you your odometer and your trip reading. That's it. There's nothing that tells you your tire pressure. There's nothing that tells you your turbo boost. There's nothing that even tells you your fuel range. You just have your odometer and trip computer. This steering wheel, no buttons on it at all. Again, what I love about the interior of this Highlander is that it's simple, it's basic, it's everything you need, nothing you want, and it's so easy to just get in and get going in this car. So with that being said, let's have a look under the hood and then take it out for a drive. Underneath the hood of the 2005 Highlander, you can see that this one was equipped with the base engine. This is the 2AZ FE 4-cylinder, which has a displacement of 2.4 liters and develops 155 horsepower, which is not a lot, if anyone is wondering. And it probably makes this car quite slow, which we're gonna take it out on the road and find out in just a second. It sends all 155 raging, rampaging, crazy horses to the front, or in this car's case, all four wheels via a 4-speed automatic transmission. And as you can see, this engine bay is quite empty, which means it was also offered with a V6. Early Highlanders had a 3-liter V6, and then later on, when this 2005 model came out, the upgraded engine was a 3.3-liter V6, which developed a crazy number, a whole 205 horsepower. Still not a lot, but probably feels less of a dog than this thing likely will. So with that being said, let's see what this car is like, take it out on the road, see how it drives. And let's see what this Highlander has to offer. Now, I'm expecting this driving experience to not be very good or engaging or exciting at all. So you can all click off if you want. This part is just for me. I just want to see what it's like, take it for a little spin. So right off the bat, I have to say it's quite comfortable. You do get some feedback from the road, and I think the sway bar links on this one are on their way out because I'm hearing a suspicious amount of clunking on the rear suspension. It's 241,000 miles, so as you expect, look, there's another one right there, fellas. That's probably the first time in history someone driving a 2005 Toyota Highlander has seen another first-generation Highlander and gotten excited about it. Back in the day, before electric cars, before Tesla, most people would just settle for a car like this as a family car. It's reliable, it's big, it's comfortable, and there's nothing else to it. That's literally all it is. It's just a car designed to reliably take your family to wherever you're going and back, no matter the weather, which is why you get one of these with all-wheel drive like what this one has. And this one, once again, also has the base powertrain. There was a larger V6 that was offered. This one being, I think the base trim has just a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder. So we're about to find out here in a second if that was a problem to get the 4-cylinder, because we're going to get it on our favorite bit of road here and open it up. So brace yourselves, hold on to your sippy cups, kids. Dad's about to get crazy. Let's see what the acceleration is like. There's an 85% off sale on milk and cereal at the grocery store, and you have to get there before Karen does, because Karen is your rival at Pilates night and you cannot let her get ahead. But she has a Honda CR-V, or whatever the equivalent was. Can we get past Karen and make it to the sale first? There's one more milk left. Yeah, it's not fast, but it was okay. I mean, it got up to speed, just. Yeah, smells a little bit now. This is clearly the base powertrain. There is nothing to the way this car moves off. I don't think you could ever get any sort of reckless driving penalty in one of these things, I would like to see somebody try, because I gave it 100% everything that it had, and it still gets 0 to 60 in probably over 10 seconds. But I have to say, I was flooring it. Yeah, it was slow. Yeah, it took forever for me to get to even the speed limit. And yeah, Karen got to the 85% off sale on cereal and milk first. I have to say, when I opened it up, not much movement happened, not much excitement happened, but not much noise happened. It was actually really quiet. That engine up front, total dog, completely powerless, but quiet and smooth. And for a car like this, quietness, smoothness, reliability, can't really ask for that much more. It's not dangerously slow or anything, but as an everyday car, as long as you're not trying to race people, it's fine. Honestly, I'm impressed with the level of quietness that this car has. I'm impressed with the amount of comfort that it has. There's a bit of tire noise. I'm hearing quite a lot of tire noise, but I'm hearing nothing from the engine up front, and no rattles or squeaks or anything to note inside here. Even though this has done 241,000 miles, it is well put together. This interior, while basic and quite plasticky, is decently well engineered and put together, because there's nothing that's really falling off. Nothing's squeaking, nothing rattling as I go over bumps, nothing's falling apart, everything feels solid. Honestly, just from driving this car, I would say that it has 140,000 miles. Driving it, yeah, it's boring. Yeah, there's no thrills. There's not a single bit of dopamine that's being released in my brain right now. It's very boring, very dull to drive, but I have to say, comfortable, quiet, smooth, well put together. And that's quite nice. I am quite impressed with how well this car actually drives. I've always been curious about these early Highlanders, and I wanted to get a chance to do a video with one. So with that being said, I'm going to end that video there. Like, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.